Hello friends, I'm currently try again. I'm currently at war. Get it? Cause guns? Stupid. I'm battling some allergies today, but we're gonna power through and make a video anyway. Allergy medicine induced rambles coming your way. But first, the best thing about moving is you find all this stupid stuff that you've been collecting over the past few years. And it kind of revives these old ideas that you had. And probably one of the worst things about moving is you just throw everything in boxes, like so, without labeling anything or putting things in room-specific order. So now I have no idea where all the bolts are to put my furniture back together. Some of the furniture won't fit in certain doorways, so they're gonna just stay in the rooms they're not supposed to be in, or get thrown out altogether. So I'll make it pretty quick for today so you don't have to stare at this for too long. But yesterday we kind of talked about how to get closer to these higher vibration people or these successful people and the different levels in which you can access these people and these ideas and start to develop yourself. I know a lot of guys when they're first starting out, they don't have any capital, they don't have any money to invest, and they don't want to read, or they're bored by reading, and they want to just get to these higher levels immediately. Like, oh, if this is the fastest way to get there, I want to just jump in the deep end and start accessing these mentors one-on-one. But I'm just starting out and I don't have a lot of capital to invest. So today's video, I just want to quickly talk about how you can still give value when you're broke. When we talk about value, we talk about perceived value, which means that value is subjective depending on the person that you're talking to or the person receiving that value. When we talk about value, we typically talk about the most universal form of value, which is dollars, hard currency. Because with currency, you can purchase or get access to anything you want. So whatever your value is, you can go to the economy and you can access this through legal or illegal markets, depending on what you're into. So I mentioned an old Jim Rohn quote yesterday, and it was something along the lines of, how do you extract more value from the economy? It's by becoming more valuable and having more value to put into the economy. So you don't necessarily have to have currency or dollars to push into the economy to start taking some value back out. So with value or perceived value being subjective, depending on who you're talking to, it really depends on who you're trying to get access to or who you're trying to associate with, what they value. So a lot of the guys that I work with are a little bit younger and they've grown up on social media, they've grown up with the internet, and they really know how to work Instagram, Facebook, and do things like that. And having a basic understanding of the platform, it's easy then to transition into doing Facebook marketing and learning the business side of the platform as well. Being fluent in social media, being able to do research well, navigate Google, easily find things that aren't necessarily on the front page of Google. So internet research, social media, things that younger guys have grown up with just doing aren't necessarily as easy for established business owners. And they don't necessarily have the time, the ability, or the interest to sit down and learn these new platforms and keep on top of like what's coming out, what's hot, what's gonna die. But just in a lot of younger guys' day-to-day actions, they're constantly on social media. They know which ones are gonna be hot, which ones their friends are on, which ones people are talking about, which ones are kind of trending right now, and which ones no one really cares about and are kind of on the way out. So that's just one quick example. Internet research, social media, things like that you're already kind of probably doing in your day-to-day, that people who are at these next levels aren't necessarily fluent in, and you can provide the value of offering them social media marketing or managing their profiles or doing research for them and things like that. That's likely a skill you already have. And again, since this video is going out to a mass market, these are more of my daily notes, my journal, and then I hope somebody sees them and finds value in them. But so I'm kind of just giving like broad statements here. So it's important for you when you see this video to look at yourself and look internally and see what skill set you have. What's something you can do that your friends always ask you about? Maybe you're good at computer repair, maybe you're good at IT, Maybe you're good at networking and finding people in the neighborhood or the local community and bringing them together. Maybe you're a connector. I don't know what it is for you. I don't know you personally, but sit down and just do an inventory and think about what people ask you about. And in later videos, we can talk about how you actually can package this and start your first online business. And I can't tell if you're blurry or if my eyes are just foggy from allergies. Hello? So that would be the first step, is sit down and jot down what kind of skills you already have. We'll talk later about skill stacking. We'll talk later about connecting the dots backwards and these other kind of concepts. But for now, just a rough bullet pointed list of what skills you have that kind of set you apart from your friends and family. What do people ask you about? What do people come to you for advice about? Don't worry about right now how you can use that. Just worry about right now getting it out, getting it on paper, and start getting your mind kind of thinking and looking at yourself in a somewhat subjective way, so you can see these skills and you can see what value you can possibly later on bring to the economy. So that was step one. Now that you have a rough idea of the skills and values that you possess already, start looking around and seeing maybe thought leaders, maybe people who you want to start getting close to. What I would do is I would first set a dream list, like maybe a dream 5 or a dream 10 list of people you would love to learn from, love to work with, just love to be around and kind of absorb their energy. So start making a list, maybe, like I said, roughly 5 people, ideal, like best case scenario, top of the world, the ultimate target, who you want to get access to. So now that you have your first list, which is your skills and values you already possess, and the second list is who you want to get close to, who you want to get access to, and who you want to learn from, then if you're really, really lucky, maybe these will already link up. But I want to keep it real, that's probably pretty unlikely. If you're just starting out, you probably have broad skills, which is fine. Everyone starts out this way. You probably have broad skills, and you probably have a list of the top 5 best known marketers or the top 5 best known fitness coaches, whatever your ideal goal is, whatever your success goal is. So for the third step, I would start kind of reverse engineering these masters, these gurus, these experts, and say, okay, this is, let's say, I don't want to use Tony Robbins again. Let's say your ideal person you want to work with is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Maybe you want to learn about bodybuilding and you want to learn about acting. So working with or being mentored by Arnold Schwarzenegger is your ideal person you want to get close to. So you could first start, of course, by buying his books, watching his YouTube videos, doing all the free or next to free things, start absorbing his information. But for a third list, I would start working backwards. And I would say, okay, to get access to the level that Arnold Schwarzenegger is at, who's maybe below that level? I'm not familiar with the industry, so I probably should have picked a different example. But let's say below him is like B-list actors or B-list celebrities or B-list fitness models. Okay, well, I'm not there yet, so how can I get access to C-list if C-list is a thing? Okay, well, maybe I can work backwards from then. Okay, then maybe you work down however many levels and you get to, let's say, Instagram influencers. Okay, Instagram influencers, they're within reach. You know, you can DM them, especially depending on their audience size. You have an opportunity to get close to them. Okay, well, maybe you're just starting out and you don't know what you can do yet. Okay, so how can I get access to these social media influencers in my industry? Well, I can start providing value. I can start providing services to my friends and family and maybe doing it for free or super, super cheap to kind of start getting testimonials built up and start getting a small portfolio of work that I can do. And then I can bring that to my social media influencer and say, hey, I've done this for my friends and family. I'd love to put you on just for a testimonial, and then start leveling your way up. So just think about that kind of like a ladder. So you have friends and family, you have influencers, you have whatever, you have B-list, and then finally you have Schwarzenegger. So I would say I would do that. First thing, what skills and values do you have or that you can start working on? Your ideal list of who you want to work with ultimately and learn from. Start absorbing all of their free or their next to free content, their courses, their books, their YouTube videos, their movies. And then third, start reverse engineering and working backwards. How can I eventually level up to that person? I'm not going to be starting out today like, you know what, I want to be a fitness expert. I'm going to call Schwarzenegger and get some tips. Probably not going to happen. Those are the 3 lists that I would make. And then I would revisit constantly as you're working with your friends and family, your low-level influencers, just getting your feet wet. You're going to have a knowledge gap come up and you're going to say, wow, I'm really struggling with marketing for X or doing ads on Y. So you can constantly revisit your list A and add to your skills. This is, without getting too much into it, we're going to start looking at skill stacking, and I'll do a video about that later on. So just remember skill stacking. It's combining several skills to make you more valuable and set you apart. Just be constantly adding to your column A or your list A what skills and values you possess. Tomorrow I'll do a quick video on how do you know what skills are valuable? How do you know what skills you should go after when you're first starting out? There's infinite information out there, so it's easy to just get stuck in your bubble, constantly learning and reading and doing courses and just consuming information. I've been there. I'm still kind of there. But you have to eventually shift from consumption into production and start pushing value out into the economy if you ever want to recapture this value. So I would encourage you to do these 3 lists. Start working on providing that value, packaging that value, seeing where you can best serve to eventually get you access to who you want to work with and who you want to be close to. In the meantime, keep adding to your list A, keep adding to your skills, keep adding to what you know and what you can do, what you're comfortable in. That's my quick idea of the day. Hopefully that helps you start to think about these things a little bit differently and encourages you to go out there and scale up. I recently put a question in one of my mastermind groups, and I asked some of the other students, what percentage of time do you consume and what percentage of time do you produce? But it typically hovered around 80-20. 80% of your time producing and 20% of your time consuming. So even if you're focused on grinding and helping your friends and family out, helping these low-level influencers out and leveling your way up, that should be your main focus, because you're producing an income and you're getting this money in, and with the money you can afford to keep increasing your skills as well as support your lifestyle and not have to worry about trading your time for dollars, working a 9-to-5 and doing things like this. So that's it. Thanks again for watching. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, let me know what you guys are thinking about these videos. I think we've just cracked the 1 week mark, and I have several hundred videos more to make, whether you like them or not, so they're coming your way. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow.